All right, g'day. Welcome to Orange. It's cold here today. I'm Angus Barrett. We're here to talk about, Kirsty's asked me to do a quick video on the Angus Barrett soft cotton reins. This is a very particular product that we've been working on for quite some time, long time. We made them years ago and then we went out of stock for maybe 18 months. And that was because I was having trouble getting the thread and the yarn that we like. The ones that we made before was an old yarn made long time ago, and we used all that up, and which sort of went for about 4 years, and then now we're back. It's taken a long time, but what we've got is I'll just show you here, very specific cotton, and it's also got to do with these threads in here and how many of them there are. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not a rope maker, but I think that's a yarn, or actually that's made up of the yarn, and then these are threads, and then each one of these threads make a cord. So that's a cord, that's a thread, and it's full of yarns. Anyway, that's sort of the detail that we go to here to get the right feel. And then the other part is, I don't know if you can see this, Kirsty, but it's about the tightness of the weave, and so that when you put a bit of pressure on it, how it feels. It's all just trying to get it to a feel and a weight. Anyway, we've made a little bit of progress. Just recently, we made a batch not long ago, and they were sold out very quick. That was the sample batch, and it all went really well. So we've got another big feed in of cotton rope. Jimmy chopped it all up last week, and they're back in production. But while after the last lot of reins, I had a gentleman contact me and say, I'd love a set of 7-foot reins. We only ever made 6-footers. I only ever made the 6-footers because I just thought they were all just for a competition rein. So these are made, when I say competition rein, these are made to be really grippy and strong, something that you can ride in the wet, or not even in the wet with a very sweaty neck, grippier than leather. And anyway, he wanted a pair of 7-footers, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's easy. I can make 7-foot, but if I'm going to do that, we'll add some weights to our rein. So, and I'll explain to you about our weights. You may have seen the other video I've done on when I was making weighted reins. So this is a set of Herman Oak harness leather reins. These are traditionally one of my favourite reins. I love riding in leather reins, and we have a very heavy weighted end there, and then through the core, these are still heavy in the core, these ones, but I split them down and make them thinner in your hand. And then we also have a weight at the bit, so I have weight at the bit. Well, actually just here you can see, you might be able to see where I've cut in. There's just a change in the grain on the flesh side. I cut in there and I cut out there somewhere, so that I've got weight at the tail and weight at the bit. And the reason we like the weight at the tail is to help the rein hang and give it a bit of body and fall down. Doesn't get tangled up under your leg or under your fender, or if you're on a stock saddle, under your stirrup leather. And then the weight at the bit is the same reason, so that when you pick up your reins, you can your horse can feel you coming. And so we have weighted reins that way, and they've got a heavy tail on them, weighted at the bit and weighted at the tail. This is our French leather reins. These are absolutely divine. These are beautiful reins. They're very sticky. I don't know how to explain stickiness on the video, but they're sticky. These are 3 layers of to French leather that we have tanned, and we sew it up. The French would be distraught if they knew that I was making reins out of their lovely leather, but it makes very good reins, especially once you oil it with the little oil mixtures that we got here. And what I do with them is, because I don't have a weight in the leather as such that I can take out, I sew a weight in. And so up this end here, don't know if you can see it there, just here it goes in, there's a weight, and the weight is this part here. So this is a Herman Oak harness leather weight, and we slide this in and then we sew up onto it, and that's how we get the weight in the tail of the reins. Little bit of effort, but a magnificent result. We don't need to put the weight at the bit because we do put the weight at the bit when we put this leather on, which is an English bridle leather, and the hardware and the keeper and all that there makes it heavy. So that picks up at the bit, and that's the same with our station reins, which are the Herman Oak harness leather, and that's the weight at the end. So that's a little bit about weight. So what I did was, we decided, you know what, Jimmy, I reckon we can do this. We can get a weight, and we've got a weight in the end of the cotton reins. This is a sample that I've just got out to show you. It's one of the test runs that we did, see if it would work, and we got it to work. And so now we're taking the weight and we're feeding it into the core of the cotton, because the cotton's tubular, it's hollow, so it's really a rope, but we use a cotton, and we get that down there, a bit fiddly, and then we sew it all up, and then we have these other pieces of leather which we cut, which are these rectangular parts here with little chamfered corners. Bit of mucking around, I won't show you too much, but then this here, so the cotton's sewn across there, and then when we feed this in, we fold this piece of leather, it goes over it. I'll pull the weight out because I can't get it all in, I don't want to spend the time doing it. And this is a bit unfrayed now, but what we do is this seals the end. So we put this in here, put that over there, and all that's tucked in there, nice and tight. Jimmy does a brilliant job. We've got a couple of tools that help us that we make. Sew it up. And you end up, here we go, I can give you an example, Kirsty. We've got, that's a finished one. So it's sewn up and there's the weight in it. So what we now have is we have our joined reins, which are these reins here, and these are 4 foot joined reins. So they're 8 foot all up, 4 foot in the centre. And there, I guess I designed them for people who like riding with joined reins, not me. Children, maybe. People who just want casual riding. You know what, it would be me if I wanted to play polo cross or something like that, or a sporting rein where I was just using one hand and I was just neck reining. And that's what they are. So they don't have a weight in the end of them because you're always sort of hanging onto them, or you've got a little bit in your hand there. They've got the weight at the bit through the heavy bits of leather that we put in there. And the hardware, this is a stainless steel dark natural set. And then, so there are our 4 footers, and now we have a 6, which is split, and a 7, which is split. And this is a pair that have been finished, and this has got the weight in them, and you can see, I don't know how to show it, but you can feel the weight. And so the rein hangs down. The reasons we do that, I think I just said previously, so that you've got weight at the bit, no, weight at the tail, so that it hangs down, doesn't get, excuse me, doesn't get tangled up in your jeans and tangled up in under your saddle or under your fender, sorry, not under your jeans or in your jeans. And yeah, they're our 6 foot reins, 6 foot and 7 foot. You have a couple of options. I'll show you, Kirsty, if you want to come over here. We've got, these are all the parts that go on them. So we have a part like this. This is the tail, and this is the buckle part, and they're all cut. These are oiled, ready to go on. We oil all the leather. This is them previous to oil. There's a natural, and there's a dark natural. Here's a dark natural oiled, and then you have another part, and that's the tail bit. That's a dark natural tail. And these are all the parts. So they're all made, pre-made, edged and slicked and oiled all up, all the leather work that we do. These are the weights, and then these are all the parts that haven't gone into production yet. I just cut them all while we've got a bit of a run on to cut the whole hide up. Yeah, so we have a 6 foot, a 7 foot, a joined reins. They're all cotton, Australian made, all the cotton's made in Oz, in Melbourne. Yeah, it's all made here, it's brilliant. It's really cool. Buy heaps of it. All right, stay cool.